What's up, y'all? Moon's Tavern. My name is Austin. Wanted to talk about some ultra-aged bourbon. We'll talk about the 12-year mark that's typically on the shelf. Not a lot of fuss to find. In my phase of my bourbon drinking, collecting, whatever you want to call it, whiskey enthusiast, I am about to the point where I'm not standing in line no more. Not doing it. Not paying secondary prices. Not doing it. Never really could do that anyway because I live in a controlled state. I am about to the point where I know exactly what I like to drink. I love tasting some of the new stuff that's coming out, especially too if it's something that I can get my hands on before. One of my new favorite distilleries absolutely is going to be that Broad Branch Distillery. I love all the stuff that they're doing, but I digress. So want to talk about some 12-year bourbon that I absolutely love, that I think is an absolute banger. Most people probably know about it, but I'm going to talk about it, and I'm curious to hear what your 12-year on the shelf, not too hard or fuss to find bourbon would be. So for me, it would be, we're going to get it over here. Boop. Knob Creek 12. Knob Creek 12, man, I'll tell you. Knob Creek 12 is one of those ones that I typically can find all the time without too much fuss. Absolutely love this one. And I would dare to say that if you put it up against some other 12 years, it would absolutely crush it. A lot of the times if I'm trying to do, or when I've done whiskey of the years and stuff, and I've bought a bottle of Knob Creek 12 in that year and try to see how it fared up to other highly allocated stuff, this hangs right in there. I mean, it's typically within the top 10, top 15. And for something that you can get on the shelf almost every single day, I think that's pretty cool. Around me, I think it's around like 69 bucks, something around there. I don't know what it is in your area. But if you disagree with me, let me know. I would love to talk about it and see what your thought process is on this. You know, they have the Eagle Rare 12 now. That just didn't do it for me. I mean, I didn't have a lot of it. I tried a little bit of it thanks to Bourbon Whiskey Library, Anthony. But as far as I'm concerned, I think this is absolutely a banger of a whiskey, bourbon. And I think that it will pretty much hang with all of the other big boys. But let me stop talking. Let me get a Glen so we can get it in. You know what I mean? So we got our glass here. My son got me these last Christmas. This WMP, just in case if you were wondering what that is. It was a Whiskey Moon Provisions. We might start that back up here soon. Of course, the one thing I do hate about some of the Knob Creek bottles is the wax. The wax is kind of irritating, but other than that, and that just came right off, which is cool. But other than that, I have no other complaints. So we got that Knob Creek 12. We're gonna pour a little bit in here, you know, and it is not a mystery to anybody that I love Jim Beam and I love Knob Creek. I love Booker's. I love all that stuff, but for it to be on the shelf, I mean, it's hard to argue that that this isn't one of the better bottles that's out there that you can get on the shelf every single day. Then I saw that they're coming out with a Knob Creek 12 cask strength. That'll be interesting. I wonder how limited that will be, or if that will be an offering. I tell you what, guys, another one that's a Knob Creek that I absolutely would recommend you getting. If anyone likes the Booker's, and I'm not saying that it's exactly like the Booker's rye, that's not what I'm saying. But if you like a cask strength rye and you like that and you like that the Jim Beam flow of it, you got to try the Knob Creek limited edition cask strength. The 2009 version, they had a 2009 and a 2010 version. There's still bottles floating around there. They're like 79 bucks. I've seen them online. There's, some stores that still carry them. To 2009, I've had the Booker's Rye, And I think that might pick that Knob Creek 2009 over the Booker's Rye. I could be crazy. I wish I could have done them back to back. I didn't have that opportunity, but I digress. If you are a big rye person and you've been searching for that Booker's Rye, I definitely would try to get that Knob Creek 2009 rye. Let me know what you think. I'll go grab the bottle here in a minute just to show you. But we're talking about Knob Creek 12 right now, so let's get it in here. You know, typical peanuts, dusty peanuts, caramel, you know, Knob Creek. Jim Beam, just in general, tends to be a little bit sweeter. Yeah, man. Caramel, butterscotch. To me, this is just what bourbon is supposed to taste like. It's in this bottle. This hits all of the things that I'm looking for. And then at 100 proof, it's, you know, it's not like overly proofy, but it's, you know, it's got some legs that it can stand on. Man, that's good. Again, some more peanut, chocolate covered peanut for me. A little bit of spice, sweet, but not overly sweet. This Knob Creek 12, man, it's just a banger. It's an absolute banger. I would dare you to put this up against like an Old Forester birthday bourbon. That's 12 year. Jack Daniel's 12 year. I don't really feel like that's a fair assessment just because Jack Daniel's stands out so much. It would really be hard. The Wild Turkey 12 year, I'd say put it up against that, but guess what? You can't find it. Old birthday bourbon. You can't find it. You can't find the 12 year. What's another one that I can think of here that's a 12 year? Weller 12. You can try to put it up, but guess what? Say it all together. You can't find it. So, I mean, it's one of those things, man. It's really frustrating to try to get some of these, you know, if you really want to try some of the older aged bourbon, it's just, you're not going to find it, man. Knob Creek definitely hits a note on there for it. Love it. Absolutely love it. You know, some people always ask me, you know, well, what is the bourbon that you could drink all the time? Or what is your favorite bourbon? You know, Jack Daniel's is absolutely top tier on the list, as well as Jim Beam. And I think I'm about getting to that point. I know I've got all this crap behind me and you're like, Austin, you're crazy because you got all that stuff behind you. But I'm telling you, it's probably going to start dwindling down because I'm not chasing it. I'm about tired of that. I love it, but when it's not available, you know, it's just not available. All right, hold on. As far as the Knob Creek cask strength rye that I was talking about, it's this one right here. I would dare to say, I would love to put this up against the Booker's Rye and see how it does blind. I think that it would absolutely stand up to this. This is 119 proof. Like I said, they have one that looks exactly like this, but on the little tag, it says 2010. I prefer the 2009. Again, if anyone's got some other opinions, I would love to hear them. They're not necessarily wrong. Like I said, the whiskey's so subjective. The things that I get, you may not necessarily get. The things that you like, I may not necessarily like, or vice versa. That's what makes whiskey so interesting and entertaining to talk about. You know, I'm sure I'm not the only one here. I mean, my whole goal of drinking whiskey is not to get all jacked up. I don't want to get drunk. I'm too old for that. It hurts. But I do love the taste of the whiskey and enjoying a glass, you know, when I come home to chill out and all that. It's not always all about getting drunk and all of that. That's just, like I said, I'm too old for all of that. That hurts. Your body hurts after a while. You can't do it. But dang, man. If you got a suggestion on another 12 year, let me know. If I can find it, I'll actually, you know, I'll absolutely put it up and put it up against Knob Creek 12 and see what happens. But Jim Beam, love what y'all are doing. You know, they're getting a little crazy with their allocation stuff and making things different and having, you know, things that are normal and putting a little bit more older age statements on them and coming out with their own stuff. I get it, man. It's a business thing. You got to do what you got to do. But for me, this Knob Creek 12 is where it's at. All right. I hope y'all have a great day, great week. Cheers to y'all. Hope you're going to have a had a good Thanksgiving, and you know, Christmas is coming up. So get your significant other that likes that bourbon, get them a Knob Creek 12. They'll enjoy it. Cheers.